Linux Kernel 6.13 is the latest stable release of the Linux kernel and was released on January the 19th, 2025, that is this year. The latest kernel comes with a vast array of improvements, including GPU and display driver updates, memory management fixes, extended support for Rust, security enhancements, and much more. Now, in this video, we explore how to install Linux Kernel 6.13 on Ubuntu 24.04. So if you head over to the main Linux kernel website, you're going to see that the latest kernel is 6.13. At the time of making this video, the date is March the 5th, 2025. So we are still up to date. Okay. Now, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to this channel to get more insightful Linux tutorials. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get started. Now, there are two ways of installing the Linux kernel 6.13. If you're running a graphical installation, the most recommended way is using the Mainline Kernel's GUI tool. Now, this is a user-friendly graphical tool that will allow you to download the latest kernel. Okay. Alternatively, you can opt to use the command line approach, which you're going to manually download and install the kernel binary packages. So we are going to cover both of these installation methods. So be sure to stick right to the end as I show you how to install the kernel graphically and also on the command line. So we are first of all going to start with the graphical installation. So see you in the next section. If you're running a GUI installation such as the one I have, the easiest way to install the latest kernel on your system is by using a graphical tool called the Mainline Kernels. Now you can install it from the PPA using the following steps. So the first step is to add the PPA itself. So to do so, run the command sudo add apt repository, then specify the repository. So this is PPA :, then the repository name is Keplicon, like that, then /PPA. Okay, so hit enter to add the repository. So right after, you get a notification asking you to confirm adding the repository. Okay, so here you can see this is the URL that points to the Launchpad webpage where you can find this PPA. Okay, so to proceed, I'm simply going to hit enter here. So this will add the repository to the sources list directory, as we are going to verify shortly. Okay, and that's done. Now let me confirm whether the repository has been added. So I'm just going to check the sources list directory. So I'm going to provide the full path, as you can see. So this is /etc apt sources.list.d, and I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so as you can see, this is our newly added repository. Now for the system to start using this repository, I need to refresh the local package index, and I'm going to run the command sudo apt update. So this is going to refresh the local cache. Okay, and as you can see, it has already been detected here. Okay, so this is the newly added repository, or rather the PPA. Okay, now we can install the Mainline Kernel's graphical tool, and to do that, simply run the command sudo apt install mainline and hit enter. So this is going to install the Mainline graphical tool that will allow you to install the latest kernel. So here I'm going to type on my keyboard and hit enter. And there you go. We have successfully installed the Mainline Kernel's graphical user interface tool. Okay. Now, before we install the latest kernel, let's first of all see the current kernel version we are running. So you can do this by running the command uname -r. So presently I'm running kernel 6.8. Okay. All right, so now to install the new kernel, I'm going to launch the Mainline Kernels tool. So I can do this via the applications manager. So you can click on the show apps icon here on the bottom left corner on your screen, and here you can search for mainline, and immediately you type mainline, you're going to see this icon here, mainline kernels. Okay, so just click on this and this will open a graphical interface, as you can see in my case. So it's going to list all the stable kernel versions. Okay, so here you can see at the bottom of this graphical interface, you can see updating kernels, and there we go. Okay, so these are all the stable kernel versions that you can install. Okay, so since we are installing the latest kernel version, which is 6.13.5 at the time of making this video, what I'm gonna do is to highlight this, and once I highlight this, I'm simply going to click this button here, install, and this will start downloading the source packages for the latest kernel, and in a short while it's going to install the kernel. Okay, so this is a process that will take a few minutes, so just be patient and give it time for it to complete. Okay, at some point you'll be required to authenticate, so here I'm going to provide my password and hit enter. Okay, so now once the kernel has been downloaded, the next step is that it's going to be installed on the system, and as you can see on the black terminal, the installation is underway. Okay, so once again you're going to give it a few minutes, and there we go. So the installation has completed successfully. So what you're going to do is just to click the close button here to exit from this terminal. Okay, and as you can see here on this GUI, this has been indicated as installed. Okay, so we have successfully installed Linux kernel 6.13.5. so I'm going to close this out. Now for the changes to take effect, what you're going to do is that you're going to reboot the system. Okay, so currently we are still using 6.8. okay, now for the changes to take effect and to start using the latest kernel, I'm simply going to reboot my system. Okay, so here I'm going to just run the command sudo reboot. Okay, so at the moment I'm going to pause this video and resume once we have completed the reboot. The system has successfully rebooted. Now let's check the kernel version we are using. So once again, I'm going to run the command uname -r and hit enter. And there you go. As expected, we are now running the current or the most recent version of Linux kernel, which is 6.13. Okay, so as you can see, the Mainline Kernel's GUI tool is quite an easy and straightforward way of installing the latest kernels. Okay, so if you're running a graphical interface, you could leverage this tool. All right, now in the next section, we are going to see how to install the Linux kernel on Ubuntu via the command line. Okay, so see you in the next section. In the second method, I'm going to demonstrate how to install Linux kernel 6.13 from the command line. Now for demonstration, I have deployed a cloud VPS running Ubuntu 24.04. All right, so let's check the current kernel version here. So once again, I'm going to run the command uname -r, and as you can see, it is kernel version 6.8. Okay, now installing via the command line is a more technical approach and is recommended for intermediate to advanced users who have a firm grasp on working on the command line. All right, nonetheless, it's quite a fast and efficient way of installing the latest kernel. Okay, so now to achieve this, what you're going to do, you're going to manually download the binary packages for the latest Linux kernel. So what you need to do is to navigate to this URL, kernel.ubuntu.com/mainline/ the latest kernel version, in this case version 6.13.5. This is the latest kernel stable version. Okay, so here you're going to land to this page, and you can see it is divided into various sections, each representing the system architecture. So for example, this is the AMD 64, that is for 64-bit computers or systems like the one I have. This is for ARM, okay, and so on and so forth. So what we're interested in is installing on an 64-bit system. All right, So what you're going to do is you need to manually download each of these Debian binary packages. All right. Now, to make this easier, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to my terminal and create a simple text file. So I'm just going to create a file called, let's say, downloads.txt, like that. And I'm going to save each of these file URLs. So I'm going to copy this and select copy link address. Okay, then here I'm going to just paste it and hit enter. So do the same for the remaining files. Okay, so here I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to do the same for this third one here. So I'm going to copy the URL and paste it, and finally I'm going to copy the last one here. So right click, select copy link address and save it there. All right, so we have the 4 URLs to the 4 Debian packages. Okay, so I'm gonna save this by pressing Ctrl O and hitting enter, then to exit Ctrl X. All right, so now we are going to download all those binary packages. Okay, and to do so you can use the wget command. All right, so to do so I'm simply going to run the command wget with the -i option. So this specifies the text file containing the URLs, and I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so as you can see, this will take quite some time, and it's done. Okay, so now let me confirm this using the ls command, and as you can see, here are our 4 Debian files that we have downloaded. All right, okay, now to install the kernel, we are going to install all these files all at once, and the command for doing so is dpkg with the -i option. All right, then I'm going to use the wildcard symbol to specify all the Debian files in the current path, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter. So this is going to install all these files. So just give it a few seconds to complete. And that's it. Okay, so the installation is now complete. Now we need to reboot the system in order to start using the latest kernel. And to do so, I'm just going to run the command reboot, like that. And I'm gonna hit enter, and at this point I'm going to pause the video and resume once we have successfully rebooted into our system. The system has successfully rebooted. All right, and as you can see, this is a welcome message from Ubuntu, and as you can see here, we are now running Linux Kernel 6.13. Okay, now I'm going to clear all this, and we are going to check this using the uname command, like that. And once again, this is proof that we are now running the latest kernel, which is kernel 6.13.5. all right, so that's it guys for this video lecture. In this lecture, my goal was to show you how to upgrade to the latest kernel, which is kernel 6.13.5 at the time of making this video. So if you found the video insightful and helpful, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue making more of these Linux videos. So that's it guys, see you in the next lecture.